Hi, I'm Lee Partridge and welcome back to Cowley TV for another pre-match show ahead of the Cheltenham game from here at the JobServe Community Stadium. On the show today, we've got a packed show. We're kicking off with a classic game, and that's against Cheltenham back from February 2019. Also on the show, we will take a look at our last game against Cheltenham. That was from May this year. Also, the highlights from last weekend's game against Notts County. Fantastic win, 3-1, and we'll be looking at that. We get the thoughts ahead of our game against Cheltenham from Will Goodwin. Also, take a look at Cheltenham's last game. That was against Bristol Rovers. Pre-match thoughts, as always, from Danny Cowley. And we got a shooting practice video. It's some unseen footage, and that was at the training ground in October before the Harrogate game. All that to come, but first of all, let's kick off with that classic game from February 2019 against Cheltenham. Classic game from February 2019 there. 3-0 winners. Goals from Kane Vincent-Young, Frank Nouble and Abo Issa on that day. Now it's time to take a look at our last outing in against Cheltenham. That was from May this year, and a single goal from Harry Anderson gave us all the spoils. Harry Anderson on the score sheet that day, as he was last weekend against Notts County. Let's take a look at those highlights. Fantastic 3-1 away win against Notts County, and a massive shout out to the 600 fans that made their way up there. Great scenes, especially afterwards with Kyrie dancing with all the fans for ages and had to be called back by Danny and Nicky. Goals from Harry Anderson, Micah and Vic, and Will Goodwin on the score sheet. Talking of Will Goodwin, we caught up with him at the training ground to get his pre-match thoughts ahead of our Cheltenham game.
Well, how good is it to be back out on the pitch and scoring goals again?
Yeah, it's a great feeling to be back out there. Even better to be scoring goals. So yeah, really, really happy to be back out there.
And how frustrating was it after having a really good pre-season to playing in the first game to then picking up the injury and then being out for a while?
Yeah, really frustrating. But that's football. You can't control some of them things. But yeah, to start the first game and then to get injured on the Tuesday after was really difficult to take. Having previous injury in that place in my quad, but I'm back now and I'm feeling good and positive, and the boys are doing really well, so it's great all around.
Yeah, and how much was that? When you did it, did you feel it was going to keep you out, or was it a bit worse than you first thought it was?
To be fair, when I pulled out of training, I knew it wasn't going to be just a small injury. I felt it. I felt the pain straight away. We had to get the scan, of course, but yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be just a small injury, so it was upsetting. It was, because I've had the previous injury there as well, so yeah, but I don't have to talk about it now. I've just moved on and happy to be back.
Yeah, and it was a great feeling on Saturday to go up to Notts County, bearing in mind we went up to Walsall the week before and win against teams near the top. Are they the things players enjoy the most, aren't they? They're winning when probably a lot of people outside the club aren't expecting it.
Yeah, I mean, two teams that are right up there, and we've closed that gap now because we've taken 3 points off both of them. So, yeah, 2 great wins.
And now the mentality's got to switch a little bit because obviously from the outside, everyone will be expecting us to beat Cheltenham, but they've proved in recent weeks how strong they're going to be. So it's that mental side of making sure we carry on doing things right, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll be a completely different game. Different style of play that they'll play that Notts played. But yeah, we're looking forward to it and looking forward to the test, yeah.
And for you personally, it's just a case now of getting as much time on the pitch and scoring as many goals as you can, I expect.
Yeah, that's it. I can only do what I can do in the opportunity that I get, and I did that on Saturday and I'm looking to do it again.
Yeah. And now you're fit, does it make you even more determined to kind of enjoy it and forget about that injury problem you had in the past?
Yeah, I've put that behind me now. I just want to stay fit and do what I can for the team. When I get that opportunity, take it.
Good to hear from Will, and it's great to see him in the team again and scoring. Let's take a look at Cheltenham's last game, and that was last weekend against Bristol Rovers. Cheltenham 1-0 winners against Bristol Rovers, and a goal from Jonathan Tompkinson gave them the win. Now it's time, as we always do, to catch up with our head coach and get his thoughts ahead of the game, Danny Cowley.
Danny, nice to be back home for this game against Cheltenham on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely. Two good away performances, two good results. I think, to take 6 points from Walsall, who are top of our league, and then Notts County, who have the best home record in our division, I think is no mean feat. Credit to the players, particularly the challenges that we've had off the pitch. So proud of the way that they've applied themselves, the way that they've come together, and the way they've fought for each other. And as a consequence of that, we've got two really good results. And I think now the challenge is for us to take what's been largely some really good home performances, to try to make them more effective and turn them into more value in terms of points.
And from an outsider, people would have seen our two wins as shocks. We now play someone near the bottom, but it's not going to be any easier against Cheltenham, is it?
No. Well, anyone that's lived League Two long enough, which I know a lot of our players have, and certainly a lot of our supporters have, will know that this is never an easy division and there's no easy games. Cheltenham will actually be pretty much right at the top of the form guide at the moment since Steve Cottrell has taken over. Steve's a really experienced manager, knows the level very, very well, sets his team up. They're always well organised, both with the ball and against the ball, and he has some really good players. They have some really good players, and he's been able to, even out the window, add to those players. I mean, most League Two clubs would like Hakeeb Adelakin in their group, so he's used his experience to affect the powers above as well. So we understand how tough the game is going to be. We have some real challenges ourselves, like we did going into the Notts County game. We found the answers last Saturday, and the ambition is to try to find the answers again this Saturday. But certainly we're going to need our supporters, because I think they recognise when the team it has some challenges, and I'm sure, like always, they're going to be right behind us come 3 o'clock.
And we've spoken a few times about players needing to put the team before the person, if you like. And is it good for you now to see, well, you probably saw before, but people like Jack Tucker and Rob Hunt stepping up to it, and they have to do something out of their norm? Yeah,
we always talk about team first, and in football it's it's ultimately a team game, and it's always for the players to be able to put their ego, sometimes their disappointment, always to one side and try to put the team first. And we've got a group really that are really humble. And you know what? I've managed for 17 years. I've been lucky enough to have 6 promotions, and whenever we've had success, the group have always got on. And it's really hard actually, because we recruit and we spend so much time meticulously going and working to try to sign the right players with the right profiles and find the right partnerships and relationships on the pitch. It's harder to do that off the pitch, but we've managed to find a way of putting a group together that all like each other. And I can't tell you how powerful it is. And you saw the celebrations when Will Goodwin scores, and they are, of course, they're pleased because the team scores the 3rd goal, and it probably means that it's the win, but they're celebrating the way they are because, and they've actually all got grazies because of knee sliding, so I've banned that, but they're all knee sliding for Will Goodwin because they see a boy that they like, who's had a tough time in terms of injuries and who's worked so hard, and they were so pleased for him, and you could sense that. And of course, yeah, the celebrations at the end, I know it was led by Cowley, but I enjoyed watching his celebrations. I felt actually, like I said, 17 years, somewhere close to 1,000 games. That was one of my favourite wins on Saturday, and I felt really privileged just to be able to, I wouldn't say celebrate with the fans, I would say watch Kyrie celebrate with the fans. But yeah, it was a good day, and what we now need to do is back it up at home, and that's where our focus has been all week.
And has the focus been on that ruthless, clinical edge that we've kind of needed, because a lot of the performances at home have had everything else except that finish sometimes?
Yeah, I think so. I think we were really ruthless and clinical in the Chesterfield game, weren't we? But there's certainly been games where we've felt like we've left points behind really at home, where we've played quite well up to the final action, and I think that's just for us to keep working on. The great thing for us, we've consistently and regularly at home created a lot of chances, and yeah, we just keep working with the players on trying to become more clinical and more ruthless. And you know, the good news is, although we have some challenges elsewhere in terms of the starting lineup, actually at the top end of the pitch, with the wingers and with the forwards, we have lots of competition. And you know, Will, you know, he scored Saturday all week. He's been scoring. We've got Samson, who's in a good place, Mike, who's in a good place, and young Jaden as well. So that's good. And also some positive news. Adrian Akande is back in training as well, so that gives us another option from the side of the pitch. And Dominic Gape as well is getting closer by the day as well. So yeah, we have some challenges in terms of injury. Obviously, with Tom Flanagan, we actually see it as good news, because I think we feared the worst. We thought that it may be ACL, especially when we spoke to him on the Sunday morning. He was in a pretty bad way, but thankfully it's not, and it is a ruptured medial. But it doesn't need surgery. So the good news is that it's not a surgical route. It will probably be 12 weeks, but I know Tom will be doing all he can to try to accelerate that process. And he'll, of course, be a huge miss both on the pitch, with his leadership, and also the way that he looks after the group off the pitch. But I'm sure between Nicky and I, we always talk about it at this club, it being a job and a half. So while he'll be doing his rehab and working hard to accelerate his return to fitness, we'll be using his leadership skills, and also he's got such a high level of football IQ to the best advantage off the pitch.
All positive stuff from Danny, talking about passion and talking about goals. Now it's time for a shooting practice video. This is some unseen footage that was taken at the training ground in October before the Harrogate game.
Quick! Yes, mate, if you round up a couple of balls, I'll come over there. I'm just waiting to see what's happening here.
Boys, grab me all the balls.
Happy with the differences, yeah? So now on the driven, what do you do?
Start here, look and keep, and then I'm alive to whatever.
Perfect. So if you can't header a goal, he's heading back to you. But for that, if you don't...
Yes, Michael, get in. Yes. Goals, Will. Next one, Will. Next one, Will. No disappointment. Finish. Oh. Right side. Corner. You watch that ball he got in? Maybe take a touch. Great ball. Okay, next one, next one, next one. Finish with the goal, Will. Finish with the goal, Will. Save. And again. Finish. Strike. Touch. Finish. I think that's your best finish, isn't it? Yeah. Those hips open. Stand it up, stand it up, stand it up. Great cross. Yes. Yes, just shorten that run now. That's fine there. Stay there. Dribble, stand it up. Yeah, so there. Anything, literally anything. Nice. Tommy, you've done enough this year. When it's all about you, I think you can go straight back.
On a good one, Ollie, he said. He wants to finish on a good one, Ollie. Ah, get on them leg weights, pal. JK, just sit down, mate. You stay on your phone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. The only player to ever miss his gym. John Kimani Goodwin.
Yeah.
Come on, in the gym, Jay. Let's
Make
go.
sure you zoom out on the lens as well. Get his whole head in there.
You might have to step outside.
Harry, put your lips in front of the camera.
Great stuff from the players working as hard as ever on the training ground. The full episode for the Matchday Insight Goalkeeper Coach is on our YouTube channel, as well as the rest of the Matchday Insight videos. That's where you can find them on the YouTube channel. Right, that's about it from me. Thank you for joining us. If you're heading to the game tomorrow, enjoy the game. Let's hope for 3 points. Tickets are still available, of course. And until next time, it's goodbye for now.